podcast arise!
Hello everyone, and welcome to AppliEpisode 7. I'm Meg.
And will we, or won't we? Of course we will! It's podcast time!
I hate you.
I was gonna open with that, but you were too fast.
I was always too fast, because I'm the one who hits record, and I know all. I am all. So yeah, as always, we'll just dive into this episode. We just watched it. It was an episode.
It was fine.
What are your favourite bits?
My favourite bit was when you found out that he wasn't hyperactive, annoying all the time.
And he was quite calm, and he still wants to be the successor to his family.
I guess. I think this might be a Japanese cultural thing I'm not quite getting, because it doesn't make sense to me that successor is a job. You can do more than one thing.
It's just like, maintaining the funds of the family and looking after the house, like making sure the house is like being looked after, just sitting there being important.
I can sit there and be important. Why? Because it's another thing I can do.
Also, the father had bright green eyes, but everything else about him looked very Japanese, so his green eyes looked terrifying.
What a gaijin.
Yeah. But I kind of like that at least he has green eyes, because at least when you look at the son, and you think he is the most main character-looking thing I've ever seen, but then, and his father still has the green eyes, so it's not like, okay, this normal Japanese-looking man with brown eyes produced a child with blonde hair and green eyes.
They've identified main character syndrome and said, no, all the things that stick out about our main characters are genetic.
Yeah.
And the only thing that actually makes them special, in that case, is that they wear weird clothes. One would assume that his mother would have blonde hair.
Yeah, or a lighter hair colour.
Yeah.
Or maybe he just bleaches, but I think he's quite young, so I'm not sure if he actually does bleach or not. My other favourite bit was the fact that if you think about all the other protagonists so far, we have that they're pretty popular and they're famous, and then there's Haru, who's just quite normal.
And it really juxtaposes his problem of feeling like a protagonist and feeling important, where it's these people who are all legitimately popular, and people, I guess, would traditionally think of them in that sort of protagonist slot, if you consider celebrities that sort of way.
Yeah, and even Yujin, who, while he doesn't hold an Appli drive, he is still sort of like he's in Haru's life, and he's basically got the same character traits as the other Goggle kids that we've seen, like Taichi and Daisuke.
Well, that's not true. He's the most popular kid in school.
Nobody liked Daisuke.
Nobody liked Daisuke.
Everybody likes Taichi, though. And, yeah, I really like that, how he's showing, oh, no, he's just a normal kid. And it's, again, and I've said this every week, but he's a bit like Takato in the way that he's just a normal kid who's just, he's just normal, and he's into his own hobbies, and he's, doesn't think of himself as, the number one main character. And I like that about Haru.
But he's even more so because he's, nervous, which is, something Takato was, he was into his own hobbies, but he was into it, he was into it full on and didn't really seem to care what other people thought about it.
Yeah.
I'll draw in the middle of class. I'll be a huge weirdo with my card games and defend them loudly and vocally in front of the girls. Haru's like, okay. That guy likes soccer, I'll watch. My goggles are cool, though.
My goggles are really cool.
They're really shinka.
Did you say they're really evolution?
That's what he says in the thing, isn't it?
No, he says that they're chore.
I don't know. They're really super.
Super, yeah.
They're real super, okay?
I love Haru. Another thing that I liked is that this was the introduction of Astra. So we had him get the chip. We had him do the finishing blow. There wasn't any, Gatchmon did do the search, which weakened him.
Won the fight.
Yeah, it weakened him, but then the final blow was done by Astra.
No, but think about it this way: if weakening him emotionally sometimes wins fights. That's how they beat the roleplay one.
Yeah,
is that should have just won the fight. And I think the one downside of this episode, as much as I like the DJ system to make Musimon fight, there was nothing special about it. There was nothing interesting about the way he actually ends up fighting. It was just like, I have a DJ thing, I'm going to swipe my hands across it with no specific there's no specific input, and then Musimon will throw a blast at the guy.
Yep.
And that was it. Which is, when it's a Digimon that punches, fine, I get it. Go and punch. But when it's a Digimon that has like music and stuff, do something. If his thing like made dudes dance, at least that would be something.
No, that's cool.
Also, I don't feel like his music was that interesting. It was just like a bwah.
I think one of the poorer things about Apply Monsters is the music isn't particularly strong. Like, I never think,
Except for the intro.
Except for the intro, and the outro is cool too. But the insert songs aren't as amazing and don't leave as much of an impression as they have in previous series. Like, you love Card Slash.
It's a real good song.
Yeah, but where's our, Apply Rise really cool song, or, Applink really cool song? It's just...
I'll tell you what it sounds like. It's Getchy.
Getchy. Yeah. But it doesn't leave an impression on me. There's no, like, really amazing, cool, fantastic battle music, like Braveheart's not playing, or, Digimon, hey Digimon, hey Digimon,
Show
or
me
anything.
your iPhone. Show me your iPhone.
Show me your app tube. And it's just, I guess we're sort of moving into negatives here, but the music is never something I really want to say, oh, the music was really good in this episode. It's not terrible. It's fine, but there's no, like, really, let's go and defeat the enemy music.
Also, let's be real, AppTube's a terrible name. It means application tube. That is not for videos.
Yeah, okay. Well, tube is.
No, it isn't. That's only coming from YouTube, which has to do with you, because you got to put your videos up on something.
Yeah.
And two, because it's the internet, right?
Well, it's only called AppTube because the show's about apps, and they wanted to make it, hey, look, it's a reference to YouTube, but it's apps because it's a show about apps.
I know that, but, like, it's still dumb. The application should have a different name.
Yeah, like, no, I get the point. But then it wouldn't click as much, I guess. What about MeTube?
Just call it anything. I think it would have been better making up their own name. Yeah, MeTube would have been fine.
Vimeo.
Hey, you know what? No one's doing any copyright takedowns on Vimeo. I don't think Vimeo is going to copyright take down anyone else for their own name.
Vine. Because Vine's an app, at least.
It would be funny if they picked something similar. It would be like...
Tree.
Yeah, tree or...
Branch.
Is branch.
Twig.
Like roots.
Root.
Well,
yeah.
in Australia, that's not okay. But
Yeah, in
right.
Australia, root does not mean what it means. It's up there with thong, but in reverse.
But yeah, so I think that was generally kind of weak. I feel really bad for the people on Astra's estate who have to clean up the slime pool.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I agree with you there.
And I just can't stand, as I sort of slightly ironically indicated at the beginning of the show, how every time, if he's not on his show, and also he's not at home, he's constantly throwing out his catchphrase all the time.
Yeah.
And it is so frustrating. At least Eri has the decency to seem embarrassed when she does it.
Yeah, and kind of stutters through it when she does it in real life.
Because that's not who she is. Whereas this is the opposite, where the subdued nice kid is not who Astra is. He's the loud, annoying catchphrase guy.
But
that's the beat of his heart.
But maybe we need this annoying
No, we don't.
character.
Okay, it's okay for him to be loud. It is okay for him to be even kind of obnoxious. It's not okay for him to say this goddamn catchphrase all the time.
Hopefully he's just obnoxious just because this is his intro episode and he calms down.
He will not.
Also, he is significantly younger. Well,
It doesn't matter.
not significantly, but I'm just saying he's like a few years younger. He's like 11, I'd say,
It
and
would
everyone
be
else is 13.
It would be like if, when, I don't know, Hikari was introduced, she had a speech tick, but instead of a speech tick of like one thing at the end, it was a full sentence.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not too thrilled by Astra at the moment. I love Musimon. Musimon's cool.
They're alright. They're like really, they're really one note, which is hilarious.
One note, because it's a music app.
Yes, I know what I said.
You already did that on purpose?
I put that one together.
Oh, well done.
But yeah, they're really straightforward of like, well, I do music, and the one thing I've cared about is the beat of this kid's heart, which is totally meaningless. I guess, yeah, his question though was pretty good.
Oh yeah, I really like all the questions. It's, who do you want to make smile?
Aries was hard.
Yeah.
No, is there someone you want to make smile?
Is there someone you want to make
smile?
Yeah.
Aries is hard. Aries was too easy, but the other two have been very good. Are your protagonist is a question about how do you feel about your life, which is really rough because obviously he didn't feel like one. And I think what's interesting about Astra's is that anyone else would have been able to answer that easily. Of course I'm going to follow my heart.
Yeah.
But he's stuck in this position where he's got a lot of responsibility.
Which is always good, because Haru also struggled with his, because are you a protagonist? And how many young boys would say, yeah, I'm a protagonist.
I
But he didn't.
don't know if I would have.
But
I would now.
Haru's like, oh, I don't know, am I? And Eri also kind of struggled, even though it was a somewhat easy question. So it relates to their characters. It's a hard question about their personality.
She shouldn't have struggled. It's stupid.
I think it was more like, is there someone specific rather than do you want to make everyone smile,
No.
which is what she was doing as an idol, I think.
No, but that wasn't what the story was about. Was there someone specific she wanted to make smile? Of course there wasn't.
Yeah.
She just wanted to be an idol because idols are cool. That was her entire backstory. Then she did it.
But to be fair, Astra's backstory was a bit, I want to be an app tuber because that looks cool.
No, I think it's different than that. I think Astra saw these really outgoing people, and he's lived in a repressed life of this is what you will be doing, this is your entire future laid out in front of you, this is what your life is going to be like, and you have to be super serious. And he sees you can be successful. You can be like successful and popular by being this way instead, and that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
And that's really different to idols are cool. I want to be one. She obviously had no impetus to not do it.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then she just did it.
Do you have any more negative bits?
I don't know. Not much happened in the episode. I think as positives go, I think the watch app one was pretty good. The timing one,
And it being week to Greenwich Mean Time?
I thought it was funny. It was great week to Greenwich Mean Time, and I also thought it was really interesting that it was kind of weak to analog systems of timekeeping. The clicky thing that they have in Japanese estates that does half an hour apparently. I think that was cool. It's like, but that thing hasn't clicked yet. Which, at the same time, should have mitigated all the damage that it did to Astra. Because he's like, well, I'll just wait for that then.
I know, but you also have to fix it up because Watchmon was hurting, like, the train system and
That's
all these
true.
other ones. And they're heroes, so they have to do that.
I don't understand why the timer running out shut down his computer.
Maybe it was set to shut down because he promised to only use half an hour a day.
Yeah.
And maybe his dad had set it so the iPad turns off after half an hour.
I guess, but even then, I guess if you say he had to use the timer, maybe.
And the timer maybe turns off the iPad automatically.
That's a lot of making excuses.
I think
for
that's
the
what
show.
it is. I think it's a parental lock.
Yeah, well,
Because he promises
you
his
think
father.
this old Japanese dude is sitting around in a
He passes him the iPad.
he's sitting around in a kimono, and he's like, "Oh yes, I developed an app to stop my son."
Yeah. No,
No, I don't believe it.
Well, there's parental locks who say only,
Why wouldn't he just trust his son instead?
I just think
Wouldn't
that's what the timer
that be
was.
a more reasonable choice?
But there was a timer on his computer on the
Yeah,
iPad.
which he appeared to set. It
Okay.
wasn't there, then he did it, and it was
I'm
there.
just saying maybe the iPad was set to turn off after half an hour, so, he's not tempted to stay on.
If he
or
had
he
said
loses track of
anything
time.
to that effect, I would believe you,
Yeah.
but I don't.
Who's your favourite character? Because mine was Gatchmon, because he said that this,
Gatchmon didn't do very much.
he
this
was
episode.
quite annoyed by Astra's catchphrase.
Yeah, but so was I.
Yeah.
So it was just normal. I don't know. No one really stuck out to me this episode.
I always like Gatchmon. He's my favourite. I love him.
I guess he's real good. That's
Though,
the answer.
I did like Musimon, and I liked how his fingerprints were notes.
Yeah, but his design's fine. But I don't really like Musimon because as I said, he's very one-note. There's not much to him. He popped out, he said, "Hey, I really like what's in your heart, kid," and then he did a really stupid dance in an alley.
Oh, though one more negative, that was the fact that Astra's backstory wasn't embarrassing. I couldn't find the embarrassing moment at all.
Yeah.
And compared to Haru's, which was, I wet the bed when I was 10, and that's really embarrassing because that was only a few years ago.
I thought it was great that the timer one's attack was turning back time
And making you embarrassed.
to make you embarrassed. That's funny.
Yeah.
It's just an inconvenience too.
Yeah.
It's not even that bad. Although I'd be really interested if it almost became like the Afro guy of like.
Oh my god, Afro Guy's my favourite character.
No, but this sort of joke of like all of the different apps will keep bringing back the fact that he wet the bed.
Huh.
Like the messaging app did it.
Yeah,
and
send it out.
And now this guy's done it. And I was hoping that like more and more of those like, hey, but you remember that time you wet the bed? Like, again.
Poor Haru. What about miscellaneous bits?
I don't know. We've really covered everything.
Afro Guy. What about for how you rank this episode? Because I have my ranking all set out. Do you
I
want
don't
to
think this episode was that good, actually. I thought it was fine. It's near the bottom of the list.
I should have put it there. Yeah, I just had to reorganise my ranking because I put it in the wrong spot. So for my ranking, from bottom to top, the second episode, then the first episode, then I guess the 7th episode, and then the 5th episode, which was Aries' episode.
Such a waste of time.
Shut up. then the 3rd episode, which was Roleplaymon, then the 6th episode, which was the Protagonist episode, and the 4th episode, which was the Halloween episode, because it was really good. I like
really
Squidmon.
Note next to them what they are.
Yeah, I think I do. I will.
When there's like 20 of them, you're not going to remember what things are anymore.
Yeah, no, I will start noting down that after this. And yeah, so join us next time for whatever we do next time. Probably the next Tamers episodes, I guess.
Will we come back? Or won't we come back? Of course we will! Do-do-do-do-do!
You're bursting out my ears now, and the people listening to this, you'll burst out their ears too.
You'll equalise it, it'll be fine.
Will I, or won't I?
Of course you will! Do-do-do-do-do!
So, of course, we have the survey that we'd really appreciate if you were to do, if you haven't already, because we'd like to find out how we can improve the podcast. You can contact us and stay updated. You can email us at LostinTranslationmon@gmail.com, or you can comment on this episode or message us on SoundCloud. You can follow us at TranslationMon on Twitter and on Vine for the time being, and you can find us on LostinTranslationmon on Tumblr, Facebook, and YouTube, and maybe we'll get an AppTube account too. Will we? Won't we? Let's find out. We have a discussion thread on With the Will and a Reddit thread in the AppMon subreddit. We'd really appreciate it if you were to review us on iTunes and or Stitcher.
And thank you to our Patreon supporters, Sam Krieger, who hosts a podcast with Stevie called The Moncast, which talks about Pokemon and Digimon. Wu Qinglong, who is at twitch.tv/Wu Qinglong. Metalbamimon, Joe, Anime Guy, who is at Anime Guy Kurosaki and the number 1 on YouTube. Chakmon, Ishwal Bamba, Hiro Olato, who's at Hiro Olato on Twitter. Jason Morosky, Frostmaragic, who's at Frostmaragic on Twitter, Stephen Reeves, who's at Wildblink64 on Twitter, Kaidawashi, Mac, Noam, Riku, Red and Garen from Breakfast with Digimon, which is another Digimon podcast that you should listen to when you're really hungry, Jams, Chisai, who you can follow on Tumblr at Chisai236, and Corey.
You can also make a one-off donation on PayPal, which can be found linked in the description. It's paypal.me/edgemon. Make sure to let us know it's for the podcast. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Bye!
Bye!
Or will you? Won't you?